Welcome back to Racing Across America. Coming up on Saturday, the Whitney, and a very, very contentious edition of the Whitney. A couple of the main contenders, VE Day and Wicked Strong, and we have the trainer of both of those here now. Happy to be joined by Jimmy Jerkens. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
And before we get to talking a little bit Whitney, I just wanted to take a moment to kind of, obviously earlier this year, the whole racing community was saddened by the passing of your father, but here we are up in Saratoga. So just on behalf of all the viewers, I know I'm speaking for them and the folks at Capital O TV and whatnot, condolences to you and your family on the passing of really a legend, Alan Jerkens. I wanted to, before we move on to the racing this weekend, I just want to bring up, speaking of your dad, legendary, one of the stories, of course, Onion beating Secretary in the Whitney. So you had an article with Dave Grennig, who we just had on, and you mentioned a story of watching Onion beat Secretary from the backstretch with the tote board kind of in the mix there. Relate that.
Yeah, well, I think I was standing with my brother Steven, and they came by us down the backstretch, and he was in front. He had just almost broke the track record, going 6.5 furlongs.
Yeah, people don't realize he's a good horse.
So he's basically a sprinter, and he was stretching out. So naturally he was on the lead. I think he went a half in 49, so he would be on the lead in there for sure. And then they went around the turn. You could see the orange, the hobo silks were bright orange. You could see them a mile away. And then when they turned for home, I don't know if it's the same now. Maybe it's just because I was a lot smaller, but the tote board was. It obscured probably from the 3/16 pole, or maybe not quite that far down, maybe the 8th pole to just a few yards before the finish line. And when he disappeared behind the tote board, he was 3/4 of a length in front of Secretariat. And then, we were saying, when they emerged from the other side, you only had a, like I said, might have been 10 or 15 yards to go to the wire. We were just sure that the blue and white blocks and the Secretary would be about 3 or 4 in front, and that wasn't the case. As soon as they emerged from out of the tote board, he had the same 3/4 of a length on as he did going into it, and we just couldn't. God, the feeling was just incredible.